I had been thinking to myself, about wanting to attempt an extended period of time off because I am a workaholic. Hey, the only way to learn how to do a sabbatical is to actually go and take one.
I was feeling like so empowered, like, oh my gosh, the world doesn't really need me. I can just live in the world and I don't have to take care of anything. All has been taken care of. And for me, that was wealth, because then I choose to do what I do.
Yeah.
I don't need to do what I do. You mentioned how profitable 2020 and 2021 were, but that's also when you took more time off.
That's right.
Than you ever have.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
Oh gosh. So I was inspired by Joe Polish of the Genius Network prior to the new year in 2021. And Joe had communicated that he was planning to take a 1-year sabbatical. And I had been thinking to myself, about wanting to attempt an extended period of time off because I am a workaholic. That's just a publicly accepted form of addiction. And I am a workaholic. Hands down, anybody who knows me will tell you that. And that's not something I want to be known for, frankly. And it inspired me to rethink my thinking and to make the decision that I was going to take a sabbatical. And 6 weeks was the time frame that came to mind for me. It ended up being six weeks and 3 days. And it scared the crap out of me. I met with Dan Sullivan, my coach, well in advance. He was able to coach me in preparation for it. And some of the things that he shared were pretty remarkable. Like, hey, the only way to learn how to do a sabbatical is to actually go and take one. Right. Okay.
Figure it out.
And about 4 weeks into my sabbatical, I began to manifest a feeling of, I was feeling really uneasy because our businesses were thriving and our teams did a remarkable job of denying access to me to everything. They changed my passwords on all my tools and technology. They changed the alarm code at one of our headquarters offices that's about 20 miles.
I love that.
Whenever I checked in on folks to say, hey, how are you? How's your summer? How you doing? And then I would try and get a question in there. How are our teammates? And everybody would respond. I think they all the leaders coordinated their response mechanisms there. And they kept saying, hey, listen, we'll fill you in when you're back. And so I wasn't able to meddle in any way. But that feeling of uneasiness where I began to question, am I needed? Am I wanted? And I brought that up with Dan when I got back from my sabbatical. And he said, well, here's what I need you to do. I need you to meet with your team and I need you to share with them 2 questions and frame the questions by letting them know, hey, we went through this. Now that we've gone through this sabbatical together, because we've actually gone through it together, I have 2 questions for you. Who should I be spending my time with going forward? And what should I be spending my time doing?
Love it.
And he said, you'll be remarkably pleased with how close their responses are to what you're already thinking. And he was spot on. He was right. And so I'm spending my time doing the things that my team said, listen, we want you to spend more time coaching. We want you to spend more time developing.
That's your new role.
Yeah. And here are the folks that we want you to be spending more time with. And I said, okay. And so that's what I'm doing. And
this is so good.
It's awesome. And so this year I'm going to take 8 weeks and, my teammates they're right alongside me. And that's, it just fills my heart with joy. I'm not sure else to describe it because prior to that sabbatical, more than one teammate approached me and said, we got this. Like, we're good. Just go and enjoy yourself. Don't worry about it. Cause I kept telling everybody, I'm going to miss you. I'm just going to feel like I always want to be
disconnected.
Yeah, I want to be, on the field with my team.
Yeah.
And I love the victories and I love the learning opportunities, but I want to be on the field with my team. And I feel like if they're playing the game without me, I feel left out. And they said to me, look, don't worry, we got it. We're going to win. Go take your sabbatical. And
that kind of support is so
couldn't have done it without their support.
Supporting them to grow, but they also are supporting you to grow.
Definitely.
and to do things that you haven't done. We were talking about it in the context where I mentioned that I had taken 8 weeks off. It's been about 5 or 6 years ago now. But I live on acreage. At the time, I had 3 miniature horses, 7 dogs.
Oh my goodness.
Chickens. And because I'm single, I mean, it wasn't like I was leaving and the family was behind that could take care of everything. So I had to find somebody who was willing to live in the house, take care of all of the animals, and that I would feel comfortable with, because my animals are my family.
Yeah.
And I had my business. So I had to make sure that all of my coaching either paused for that time frame or finished up, and then new people would start and move forward. And the woman who's worked for me as my admin, although we didn't really call her admin when she first started, but she's been with me for 12 years. So she knows me. I knew she could field that part, but pretty much there wasn't a lot going on because people knew that I was going to be gone. And so I flew over to Spain, did the 500-mile walk across the width of Spain. And I never really worried about the business. I never really worried about my home. There was that level of trust where, like, I did what I needed to do to make this possible. I trust that they're taking care of everything. And when it came time, that when you're on the Camino de Santiago, the role is to get to Santiago.
Right.
And everybody's like, we got to get to Santiago. A lot of people don't make it to Santiago because physical things happen and they have to bail. But as I got closer to Santiago, I didn't want to come home. I mean, I was not ready. When you talk about your personal change feeling where you really needed, I was feeling like so empowered, like, oh my gosh, the world doesn't really need me. I can just live in the world and I don't have to take care of anything. All has been taken care of. And for me, that was wealth, because then I choose to do what I do.
Yeah.
I don't need to do what I do.
There's a big difference.